The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
First Speaking Podcast coming to you on November 9th, 2022. How you guys doing? We are just past Election Day 2022, although there's still races too close to call. We got a hurricane coming here also, too, so I'm trying to get this in now while I can because Hurricane Nicole is about to enter the sphere here. I think she's supposed to hit. We're getting rain right. Actually, speaking, getting rain right now. A lot of rain and a little bit of wind outside, too, especially. But right now, we're okay. Power is on right now, so I figured to get as in what I can. Back on this podcast, I want to have on my buddies Mike and Zach, as we do our picks of the week and react to the college football playoff rankings, of course. But yeah, Hurricane Nicole is about to make landfall. Left work early today. Questions of whether or not we'll be working tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. It's Category 1 right now currently. It's going to hit probably a little north of us. According to the track we saw, she'll be hitting just north of us. Was obviously weather would be really bad, but you know, obviously, you know, people who listen to the podcast, especially too, you know, all my friends and you know, in harm's way, please be safe. Please be safe. It's gonna be a nasty storm. But you know what? Much better this than a Category 3 or 4 or 5. Believe me, I will take this any day of the week and twice on Sunday. Actually, I've gone through many hurricanes in the past. Hurricane Andrew, 1992, of course, the biggest one. You know, pretty much changed my life. It actually made me infatuated with hurricanes for a long time. I was 12 years old at the time, and honestly, we were spared. Like the only thing that happened to my apartment was at the time was we had two little leaks in the living room. But other than that, people around us had gotten damaged. Some people were saying they had black clouds in their apartments and stuff. It was really, really bad. And of course, you have the hurricanes of 2004 and 2005 of Francis and Jean, and then I think we had Wilma in 2005. So and then the one we had here that barely hit here, I think it was Irma, but we evacuated here in 2017. We evacuated at the time as we just had our second son, Logan. Months before that, and I didn't want to go through a storm, a potential Cat 5 storm with a newborn. You know, not having power and all that. That would have been a disaster. So we made a decision to evacuate, and evacuated also in Charlotte, North Carolina, with my cousin and his family. So, but you know, I've gone through my share of hurricanes and storms over the years. You know, you really never get used to it. Obviously, you know, the annoyance of it, of course, is losing power. You know, you hope you don't get flooding. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of things that could happen. You know, with storms like these, even a Category 1. But you just we pray for the best, man, obviously. So again, people who are in the path, especially too, please be safe. Just do the right thing and don't be out more than you have to. Yeah, that's all I can say. Anyway, so like I said, election 2022. I want to say it's come to an end, but it's not really come to an end. There's still races too close to call. So what I've done is I've listed out six takeaways that I took away from the election, of course. Because obviously here in Florida we had a governor's race, a Senate race, and a couple other representatives and Congress races here too, especially. First takeaway, of course, Ron DeSantis, the governor, dominated. I mean, he absolutely dominated. I've never seen a governor dominate the state in the way he did in yesterday, beating Charlie Crist by 20 points. I'm not surprised that DeSantis won, obviously. There's no surprise there. I even told people months ago that he should win this election by double digits, honestly, if you really think about it. Because one of the things I've been saying for the last couple of years since the pandemic, and I've been very complimentary of DeSantis also, too, when it came to how he's handled COVID, handling the pandemic here in Florida and whatnot. You know, one of the things that I thought he did well was with that, and I feel like ever since that happened, that carried over into everything else. I thought he was pretty decent with when it came to schools and education. He was actually one of the better Republican governors on the environment, which is not very common to see. Definitely better than Rick Scott. I obviously have issues with DeSantis as well too. I had issues with him combating the culture wars and the CRT thing, and of course banning books and all that "Don't Say Gay" bill and stuff. I mean, that's one of the things that did bother me. But overall, not surprised. At the end of the day, he peeled off a lot of people get into the wars about this stuff in Florida. But it's weird because Florida, it is a red state now in some ways. Yes, it is a red state in terms of who's winning elections here. On policy, not necessarily. On policy, I believe still pretty progressive in spite of that. The Democratic Party now in Florida, and I saw a quote from a Democratic advisor yesterday following the results of the races in Florida with Rubio and DeSantis winning here, is that the Democratic Party is virtually extinct right now, on the verge of extinction here in the state. He's right, and I've been saying this for the last couple of years now. Whether it's messaging, whether it's just appeal, a lack of appeal to the constituents here in Florida. DeSantis won Miami. DeSantis won by 20 points. Oh, nearly 20 points, I say. Okay. He also won Miami by 9 points. A county that, while it started to become a little more purple recently, it's still a Democratic firewall. He won that by 9 points. He also won Palm Beach County. He also won, I think it's Osceola County as well, too. He flipped a bunch of big counties red this time around. And we haven't seen that here in the state in over 20 years. So he's very popular now, which now brings the question up now. Does DeSantis parlay this into a possible presidential bid? And obviously, if that happens, we know it's going to set up the Trump versus DeSantis thing, which we discussed in this podcast a few times about the possibilities of that happening. We'll get to Trump in a second, obviously. He's part of my 6 takeaways here. But, I said all along, Charlie Crist was a bad candidate. I voted for Charlie Crist back in 2007. And I voted for him at a time when he was a Republican, and I was a Republican at the time too, and wasn't a fan. Democrats, I mean, it's almost like Democrats conceded this race a long time ago because, excuse me, by conceding Charlie Crist as your nominee, there was never a chance. I mean, look, I don't think Nikki Fried, who was the other option for Democrats to put up against DeSantis, would have won anyway. But I feel like the Democrats would have probably a fighting chance to make the score respectable. The fact that Charlie Crist wasn't even electable on top of that, I think Democrats either stayed home, which actually turnout was actually pretty good here considering, in the state of Florida. But Democrats were probably frustrated also too. And let's face it, right now Florida, economically speaking, right now is doing very well. You don't have to be whether or not you love or hate Ron DeSantis. Things in the state right now are pretty good. I'm not gonna bullshit you there. We can get into the other fringe topics about that. Abortion and critical race theory and don't say bill and those things. I'm obviously very critical of the governor on. But in terms of the regular people right now in the state in a time where inflation is a thing still, and gas prices are still pretty high, it's very popular. And I'm really curious where this goes going forward for him and whether or not he parlays this into a presidential bid. We'll see how that happens. Second takeaway for me on this election, no red wave. No GOP red wave. And I'm shocked, too, because I predicted that as well, too. Even after I said over the summer when the Hail Mary, the bat signal the Democrats got with the gun control stuff, with the Uvalde shootings, of course, Roe v. Wade being overturned finally, I thought that, okay, that might help Democrats. But in the end, it's all about the economy, stupid. It's always about the economy. And the economy being front and center. Because, again, inflation is nonpartisan. It impacts everybody. And you can peel off. And if you're the party in power at the time of inflation, whether that's your fault or not, if you're the party in power, people are going to see that, and they're likely going to vote the other way because of it. So I thought Joe Biden was toast. I thought Democrats were toast because of inflation. And yes, the Republicans won House seats, obviously, but that was expected too. And for the record, it's very common. It happens anyway. The only time since World War II, the only two times it's happened where the party that takes over the White House initially and then during the midterms actually gained seats. There's only been two instances happened. It was in 1998 and in 2002. With Bill Clinton, 1998, with a whole humming great economy, and then 2002 when George W. Bush, obviously coming off of 9/11 and obviously patriotism at the time. So those are the only two times it's actually happened where, the person in the White House actually gained more power in Congress. But no red wave, and I think also too, you look at that, it's shocking for me. It really is shocking. And a lot of Trump endorsed candidates in the governorships either still losing it now currently with races to call, or lost completely. John Fetterman winning the Senate seat over Dr. Oz in Pennsylvania. And that's, Oz was a Trump-endorsed candidate. J.D. Vance won, who was a Trump-endorsed candidate, but he only won by 6 points. We thought he would win by double digits. Herschel Walker's going to run off. A couple other Trump-supported governors or senators or candidates in purple-ish districts, if you want to call that, or light red, not winning. This was a referendum on Donald Trump, and what it says now too. Also, too, what reason no red wave, and I should have seen this from the beginning, and I did, and I'm okay. I'm glad to be wrong for the record, but the reason why, what happened here with people like me, independents, whether or not you have a leaning or not, at the end of the day, issues like women's rights, issues like gun control are on the ballot. Women's rights, especially, was the big thing here. And I've been saying all along, for Republicans to truly win an election moving forward, a national election moving forward, in a way where it's comfortable, in a way where it's convincing, that's the issue that you have to. You can't run on unfortunately for them, you can't run on a strict pro-life agenda. 8 out of 10 Americans are pro-choice. And newsflash, folks, in that 8, a big chunk of that are Republicans too. Women's rights is a big issue. And I think we learned that this summer. And I think the GOP's learned that right now. That plus Trump. So again, no red wave. I'm stunned there's no red wave. I'm stunned that didn't happen. So, number 3, Pennsylvania is still blue. Other than 2016, somebody on Twitter we follow each other. Some guy. I'm not going to mention any names. I don't want him to the podcast and I'm going to insult him. Wrote a tweet out and he said, "How is Pennsylvania this blue?" Yeah, dude, it's this blue. Because other than 2016, which Trump barely won, but what, 70,000 votes, if that? Okay. Pennsylvania has been blue in every cycle since 1988. Do your history. I know you're a Trump person, but do your history, buddy. And I'm saying that because the person who was saying this is a right-wing, anti-woke, it's what he has on his Twitter, person who does not understand, who's so locked into his little bubble of Trumpism, he doesn't understand the wider scope of things. Pennsylvania's always been blue. Okay? It's been pretty, I won't say it's like royal blue, but it's been pretty, consistently blue state for a long time. Okay, 2016 was an anomaly because again, the other candidate was not very likable, Hillary Clinton. Come on now, let's be real. So, watching Fetterman win a Senate seat by right now, it's up 3 points right now. As I last checked, the votes are rolling, even though they were declared for Fetterman. And you have Mastriano, who was another Trump-endorsed candidate that lost to governorship to what was it? I forgot the guy's name, Shapiro, by 13 points. Yeah, why are you shocked? Pennsylvania's it's always been blue. Come on now. Number 4. Voters at this point, voters are sick of all things Trump. And I think mostly the voters who are sick of Trump more than anything else are the middle, moderate independents like NPAs like myself, maybe slightly lean blue, maybe slightly lean red, tired of Trump. Again, this is a referendum on Trump, like it or not. Again, I'm interested to see the governor's race in Arizona, which is tightened up now since then. Carrie Lake against Katie Hobbs. I'm interested to see how that plays out. I mean, Carrie Lake is very much. Carrie Lake is pretty much Donald Trump as a female, pretty much. Like the mannerisms, everything else, the rhetoric, very much like Donald Trump. She even used the word bigly today on Twitter. We'll see if that plays out where Hobbs wins that race or not. She's been up to this point most of the way. We'll see how it plays out next. How many more days they count votes there. But this is a referendum on Trump again. People are sick of him, and I think independents spoke out loudly and said that we're not gonna look. We're mad at inflation. We're mad at a lot of things happening now in Joe Biden, but at the same time, we don't trust Trumpism. We don't trust the GOP to do things the right way either, because of the fact that it's still pretty much headed up by Trump. And they spoke, and I think you saw a lot of, at the very least, you saw a lot of split ticketing. People voting for. I'm sure that people like, I'll give PA for example. People voting for Shapiro for governor, but also voting for Oz for senator. Saw that out there, absolutely. So I think independents are sick of Trump. We'll get to that in a second. Fifth takeaway for me is Democrats here getting false hope that because of what played out yesterday, and was playing out currently now as we still counting the votes in for the remaining races out there, that Joe Biden is still viable for 2024. I think Democrats are bad at messaging. They're bad at listening, especially too. And I think because what happened today, or this week rather, is going to clear the way for Joe Biden to run for election in 2024. Personally, I think it's a bad idea. But Biden may still be electable. Look, you may not like Joe Biden. His numbers have started to improve a little bit the last couple of months. He was in the tank months ago, last year, early this year. He was in the low 40s. Now he's in the mid 40s now. If he can still get some wins here, if he handles Ukraine properly and everything else, if gas prices goes down again, and obviously inflation, gets lowered, pricing gets a little lower now, gets under control of that. Maybe his approval rating goes into the high 40s, maybe close to the 50s. Who knows? Probably not, because we're so polarized as a country now at this point that I just don't see that happening anyway. But this probably clears the way for Joe Biden to run for election, which now gets my number 6 on the last takeaway of the whole thing here. It's if there was any time for Republicans in the GOP to pivot off of Donald Trump to being the leader of their party, now is the time. Now's the time. The people spoke in the midterms. The people spoke in 2020 also, too. And if that wasn't enough, midterms, even inflation, even high gas prices, even all that going on now in 2022. The people in this country, independents, who swing selection, and independents and MPAs are growing now, because both parties are losing members every year, faster and faster. That now, if there's any time to pivot off of Donald Trump, now is the time. Now everybody's going to say, well, Ron DeSantis is probably the best candidate because he won big in Florida and all that, and maybe so. I don't know who's a future GOP. I mean, Ron DeSantis seems to be the one that's in the best position, given how big he won in Florida, given how big he won, not only that, but also the fact that it is Florida. Florida is one of the most important states in this country in terms of the electoral map, and how close he is to, people call him a smarter Trump. But yeah, if the GOP wants to expand their map going forward and get back to a place where they're a wider electable national audience, a national voting people, of course, in other words, appeal wise, Donald Trump, even in 2022, is still way too polarizing. I know people say, "Oh, well, you mean tweets." Doesn't matter. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like how people think about Donald Trump. People care about that kind of stuff. I had friends of mine saying, you guys just get over it, mean tweets. Why? Yeah, but guess what? People vote on that, and the reality is why you may not like that. That's the reality. People care about the optics. The reason why Kari Lake is currently losing in Arizona is because while John McCain may not be the most popular guy nationally, she decides to make fun of a dead guy. And John McCain's very popular in Arizona. Like, how stupid can you be? How stupid can you be to do that? And that's why you're losing. Oh, it's going to be a big deal. It's a dead guy. Well, look at the numbers now. People care about that kind of stuff. And that's what you don't understand. People care about that stuff. About optics. About, just how you look in the chaos. It's why Trump lost 2020. Because there are many people who like Donald Trump on policies, but couldn't come to the point to vote for him in an election because of optics. It matters. It matters. It sucks. I know for people it sucks but that's just what people care about, and not only that, especially people who don't follow politics one-on-one like I do, or people like come on this podcast and we talk about it. They see a guy who's is acting like an asshole and a jerk. They're not going to vote for that guy. That's it. That's simple. So we're still waiting the results. Of course, obviously you have the runoff in Georgia, which right now at this point may decide the Senate seat, the Senate balance moving forward. We may have the Democrats may actually hold serve. Because them losing the House wasn't a shock, or about to lose the House isn't a shock. No one's shocked by that. That was bound to happen. What the red wave would have been like the Republicans getting plus 30 House seats and then plus 5 or 6 Senate seats, and that's not going to happen. So Democrats actually performed much better than I thought they were. I'm stunned. There was no red wave. I thought that was for the taking. And again, Roe v. Wade, Trumpism on the ballot again. And independents, lean left, light lean right probably, still believe that those things matter. And that's why you have what you had last night in the overall, election last night. So, but again, we got the Senate race to call still in Georgia. The Senate race in Nevada still have to call. And the Senate race, I believe, in Arizona also have to call. And then you have the governor's race in Arizona as well, too, and a couple other little knickknacks here and there. So, but I love this. I love election nights. I love this stuff. I live for this. I am an absolute nerd for this shit. Every 2 years, not every 4 years, every 2 years, I'm into the midterms, I'm into the general election. I'm a nerd for this stuff. I can't wait for 2 years from now. CNN, to me, you may not like CNN, what they do in terms of, rhetoric and all that, and are they too left and all that. But when it comes to actual election coverage and watching John King go on that map and explain to you how this works, the trends, and what votes are outstanding and all this stuff, nobody's better than CNN. And I've been watching CNN for years. How they've done the coverage. Nobody's better than John King. It's just majestic. It's like watching sports. It's like watching ESPN and watching how they analyze things on on sports networks. Same thing. It's fantastic. I mean, it's someone who's into politics, has been in politics as a child. Yeah, it's great stuff. It really is. Before I bring Mikey B and Zach onto the podcast, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my best bets. Right now, I am 22 and 23 for the year. I went 2 and 3 last week. Another rough year. This has been a really tough year to really get just a grasp on the picks this year. It really has been for me. Unlike last year when I nailed nearly 70% of my picks. But we keep pressing on, of course. Like I said, this is all for fun, of course. So my 5 games here. First game here, give me the Buccaneers -2.5 over Seattle. They got games in Germany, especially too. Tom Brady won since his divorce from Giselle. I think I'm not saying it's obviously a big deal, but I think Seattle is playing really high right now, and I think maybe a letdown game is in the order. I think Tampa Bay also too, but that big comeback win against the Rams in the final seconds, Brady especially doing his magic late in the game. I think that may actually change things around for the Buccaneers, who are 4-5, disappointing, but again, first place in the NFC South rather. So we'll see how it plays out. Next game I have here, Detroit at Chicago. I have the under at 48.5. Now, both of these teams have been scoring. Well, Detroit not last week, but Detroit mostly has been scoring a lot. Chicago in recent weeks, here are going to kind of get in a little bit. I think this will be one of those games where I think divisional optics. I think they play out for these games. I think I like the slight under here. So Lions at Bears under 48.5. This one's gonna be a frisky pick for me. Give me the Jaguars plus 10 over Kansas City. I think the Chiefs win the game, but something tells me the Jaguars are gonna show up for this game, try to make an example, of things. They've been pretty, look, they 3-6 this year. Probably should be a lot better than the record. They've been in a lot of games, very competitive. I think the Jaguars have been very frisky most of the year. I think KC can afford. Well, people say, well, last year's the letdown game for the Chiefs is Tennessee, but Tennessee's a lot better team than the Jaguars are at this point. I think a letdown game is in order for the Chiefs. So give me the Jaguars here to cover plus 10. Give me the LA Chargers plus 7.5 over the San Francisco 49ers. I think San Fran's the game. San Fran's it's to be, in my opinion, the second best team in the NFC right now currently, even at 4-4. There's a lot of points actually here. It's a Chargers team that's getting healthy now. But I mean, I don't know. The Chargers they've been kind of quiet last couple weeks ever since the injuries piled up. I mean, they're playing well. They're 5-3. They're hanging around and all that. But people thought this would be the second best team, with their best team in the AFC. And I guess the perception now is that they're just kind of in the middle of the pack right now. So we'll see how that plays out here this week. But I like the Chargers plus 7.5. Like Stanford to win the game though, but I think Chargers will cover the spread here. And then finally, I'm all in on Tua Tagovailoa. Give me the Dolphins minus 3.5 over the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, the spread is a little low because the Browns will just come up a bye week this week. But I'm going to roll with Tua. He's been fantastic under center for the Dolphins as long as he's healthy. So I like the Dolphins here. So again, Buccaneers minus 1.5 over the Seahawks. The Lions, Bears under at 48.5. The Jaguars plus 10 over the Chiefs. The Chargers plus 7.5 over the Niners. And the Dolphins minus 3.5 over the Browns. Now let's get to the rest of the picks of the week with my boys, Mikey B and the degenerate himself, Zach. All right, it is week number 10 in the NFL. And again, we don't know. We think we know, but we don't know. We're here, of course, with Mikey B and Zack The Degenerate. Fellas, what's going on?
What's happening?
Hurts, don't it?
Yeah, you're gonna run that joke to the ground, aren't you? To the Super Bowl, if they go, of course.
I mean, that is my fantasy football team name that he is the quarterback of.
We'll touch on the picks in a second. We'll also touch on the college football playoff rankings in a second. Real quick, I'm gonna see your power rankings real quick, Mikey. Bottom 5 quickly. What you got?
Oh, hold on, I gotta open it.
Oh gosh.
All right. 32, I have the Carolina Panthers.
Like me.
31, I have the Las Vegas Raiders. 30, I have the Bears.
Really?
Yep. 29, I have the Houston Texans. 28, I have the Indianapolis Colts.
Zach, any issue there?
I didn't even. I'm trying to remember if I got high because what the fuck? Now, if you put those in another order, I'd be okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Baker Mayfield or PJ Walker.
I'm sorry, but one, your record is what your record says you are. And two, how the hell? Look, Davis Mills, he puts up a fight here and there. He backdoor covers big spreads. But the Texans 28. How? I mean, if you were going to...
No, any 28th, right?
I have Indy 28.
Texas 29.
And Texans 29th. Yeah.
Right.
Correct. But let's address this, okay? The Carolina Panthers decided to give up 4 rushing touchdowns to a guy who couldn't run out of his own fucking way behind a fucking rebuild offensive line in Joe Mixon. I've talked about how I needed more from the Bengals run game, and they found a way to give up 5.
They listen, Michael. They listen to you.
Oh, by the way, Josh McDaniels is tanking for a shit quarterback that probably will be mediocre at best in Bryce Young after he comes out of Alabama.
Tanking. He may not have a job after next week.
Hey, but guess what? They're going to rebuild in one way, shape, or form, and Josh McDaniels is going to be the fucking scapegoat because Derek Carr ain't going to be there next year. They're going to go get a fucking quarterback.
But how again? Derek Carr last year, people could legitimately talk about being.
I'm going to tell you the same thing that I tell the moron sitting next to you. Last year was last year. His trust in the San Francisco 49ers is from what they did last year. This year's team is completely different. At the end of the day, this fucking Raiders team, they have more weapons this year and look shittier. Their defense is worse.
I agree. So again, they should be higher than who you have at 32.
I have them at 30.
So real quick, I had so Zach, for comparison's sake, I had 28 to 32 going down. I had Steelers, Lions, Raiders, Texans, and Panthers.
See, I just think it should be Texans, Panthers, 32-31.
Okay.
And if you don't have Raiders in your top 5,
bottom 5,
maybe top 3 at this point.
Well, I got them at number 30, so yeah, I got them there.
I have them 31, so
yeah, we're the same wavelength. Yeah, him and I are both the same wavelength. Yeah, I guess you're saying. Okay, let's go 10-6, Mike.
At number 10, give me the Miami Dolphins. They fell a spot this week, even though they were victorious.
Mm-hmm.
Next, give me the goddamn Jets. I'll take the 49ers after them,
the
Cincinnati Bengals, and then the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, so yeah, Dolphins. I mean, I thought it was a 9. So is Seattle out?
I dropped Seattle. Yes.
Ooh,
the Jets win against the Buffalo Bills is better than anything that either one of those two teams that are at 10 or 11.
So I'm not gonna lie to you, Mike. I had a little bit of repetition, a little bit of a, battle in my head. Okay, do I put Jets in there because the Buffalo win? But I don't trust the Jets overall. Seattle's been impressive,
But my question is,
tough.
What of the Jets don't you trust?
Zach Wilson.
You don't trust Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson.
You trust Geno Smith?
I do. Right now I do. By
the way, the Jets, the first 3 games of the regular season, started some schmuck by the name of Joe Flacco, and they still have a winning record.
I agree.
Maybe you should get on the gritty wagon and let Zach Wilson gritty.
So 6-10 for me, real quick, because I haven't seen it. I had Cowboys, Bengals, Niners. No, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. What am I looking at? What the fuck? Sorry, I'm looking at my other list. I apologize.
You're an idiot.
6-10. Shut up.
The Niners are way too low.
I know exactly. They're a lot higher than that. 6-10. Vikings, Cowboys, Bengals, Dolphins, Seahawks.
So I don't agree with Seahawks at 6.
No. Seahawks at 10.
Oh, Seahawks are 10.
Yeah, I went 6-10. I went down 6-10.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I think the Dolphins should be higher on both.
Can we talk about how Zach Wilson has 1 loss as a starter this season, and it's to the New England Patriots?
Can we talk about how Tua doesn't have a single loss?
Can we talk about how he left half of his brain at Paul Brown Stadium?
Not true. I mean, he's still undefeated. This was crazy.
I mean, but he left half of his brain at Paul Brown Stadium.
No,
in that game, so technically he has a loss.
I have a brain is still better than what Zach Wilson's working with.
This is true, Michael. This is true.
5-1.
I mean, if you're counting that loss to Cincinnati, go right ahead.
No.
Look,
I'm talking about Zach Wilson is 5-1 as the starter of the New York Jets this year.
I mean, my opinion is that they're winning in spite of him. Honestly, that's my opinion, though. Of course. So I mean, it is what it is. What it is.
It can't be anything else other than the fact that he only threw for 150 yards against the fucking Bills. Okay, cool, whoop-de-doo. But They also ran the fuck out of the ball in that game.
Oh, no. Again,
the Jets are doing the exact same thing that the Dallas Cowboys were doing.
I've argued, dude.
Well, how many games does Zach Wilson have over 200 yards on the season? 2?
If that.
2 out of his 6, he's maybe gone over 200 yards.
I mean 3. Okay, I've argued all year long that the outside Zach Wilson, the Jets roster is better than the Giants. I love the Jets roster outside Zach Wilson right now. And I'm not sitting there saying I'm going to give up on Zach Wilson.
Okay, but let's go back and look at their 3 games that they had with Joe Flacco at quarterback. Mm-hmm. A 15-point loss to the Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. A 1-point win against the Cleveland Browns.
A miracle win, of course, off the record, but yeah.
Oh, and by the way, a 15-point loss to the Cincinnati Bengals. So 3 teams, 2 of them that are going to be in your top 7. Mm-hmm. And a Cleveland Browns team that's probably in the top 15 right now, and they're just going to get better when Deshaun Watson comes back. Oh, but by the way, they beat the team that Zach wants higher on the list.
So with that argument, it just sounds like the Dolphins and Jets both should be higher on both your lists, and maybe a team like Cincinnati should drop.
They beat Miami and the Jets. Get out of here. Go take a walk. Go get higher. Please, go rip it again. Rip it again, come back, we'll try again. Don't worry.
Calm down, Michael. Calm down. 1 to 5.
No, I want him to rip it again. I want him to come back because at this point, that one's even worse. That takes even worse than wanting the Dolphins higher. At the end of the day, you want the Dolphins higher. Maybe people like Ernest should stop overhyping the San Francisco 49ers. Maybe we should do that.
That ain't happening yet. Unless they lose this weekend. Then
I can agree with the 49ers being low on your top 10.
All right, so 1 through 5, Zach. Mike, go ahead.
At number 5, I have the Baltimore Ravens. At number 4, I have the Minnesota Viking experience. At number 3, I have the Kansas City Swedish Chefs. At 2, I have the Buffalo Bills.
Wild Wings.
Buffalo Wild Wing Bills. And at number 1, because it's election week, I have the Philadelphia Bald Eagles.
So 1 through 3, and then 5, I agree with you on, obviously.
Yeah, because you want to have the fucking 49er hype over fucking Kirk Coupins and the fucking Minnesota Vikings.
Hey, look, you don't get to cut the line, brother. Sorry.
Cut the line? Motherfucker, they were ranked higher than the 49ers all fucking year, and they haven't lost.
I mean,
more like, you know what, Ernest?
More letting the fucking
I think you're totally right on your list because, again, if we're talking about trust now because of what, like, the Jets have done, well, I know Kirk Cousins still hasn't proven to me that he can win in a primetime game. And the playoffs, they're all prime time.
Or at least solo. Or at least solo.
Clock starts.
And the issue is this prior time. It's also games
that Saturday night game that he always seems to somehow get.
Watch the NFL purposely set it up for him like that in his first.
That's what I'm saying. He'll get the Monday night game against like Dallas.
The wild card game. Anyway, no. So really, the argument here is really Minnesota against San Francisco. I mean,
no.
Is San Francisco wide for me? Is San Francisco wide for me?
So that's what it is. Okay,
that's what it is for
Mike hasn't figured out with where San Fran should be rated, but he has Minnesota so overrated because he still doesn't understand the Kirk Cousins shit.
No. See, I do understand the Kirk Cousins effect. But let's look at. But hold on.
You can't get top 5 because of the Kirk Cousins effect.
They've lost automatically undefeated team in football.
So real quick, Zach, for argument's sake, my 1 through 5, we have the same exact 3: Eagles, Bills, Chiefs. Niners at 4 for me.
Shocker.
And then Ravens at 5. So Niners too high, obviously, Zach, right?
Niners are too high.
Okay.
Niners are about a 7.
Okay.
The Vikings are
6?
an 8.
8?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, it's Kirk Cousins. If he does not get a bye.
The Minnesota Vikings have one game with a 100-yard rusher doesn't mean the fucking fact that Kirk Cousins isn't doing his job.
The only way Kirk Cousins can get out of the first round of the playoffs is if he has a bye.
If Kirk Cousins in the next 2 weeks goes 2-0, I want you on this show, in this segment, to sit down on the Kirk Cousins overhypeness bullshit, because he's going to play the Buffalo Bills and the Dallas Cowboys. Here's your fucking chance to go.
Okay.
I love it.
So when he goes 0-2, you'll be like, okay, people started watching, and he froze.
And if Josh Allen doesn't play this week and he squeaks by Buffalo, then what? It's going to be, oh, well, he beat a Buffalo Bills team without Josh Allen. But he hasn't had a fucking run game all year. We're forgetting about that.
So you're gonna brag about beating a Bills team without an MVP.
And Mike, you give me shit for this. I had him in the top 5 pro code.
His one loss is to the only undefeated team in football. It's not like he's losing games that he should lose. He actually beat your Commanders after Taylor Henneke threw it into triple coverage like a moron.
Wait. His or mine?
Both of you.
On that note, let's get the picks. Fucking guys.
Oh, by the way, he also beat the Miami Dolphins, too.
Oh, wow. 2 of them, forget. And they're playing a third-string quarterback that night.
No, I don't give a fuck. It's a win.
No, I agree. Look, Minnesota's a good team.
6-1. There's a reason why they should be in your top 5s. I
get
it.
7-1. But right. No, they're a good team. I'm not denying that. Obviously, there's a trust factor with me. I still have to work with Kirk and the rest of the Vikings, but we'll see how it goes. All right, let's go to the first game here. We have Thursday Night Football. We have the Falcons at Panthers.
Guys, game's gonna suck.
Oh yeah, Panthers. Falcons rather 2.5-point favorites. Over under 42.5.
Fraud cons.
Yes. Give me Atlanta here, boys.
Hey, what was my record last week, by the way?
You won. You got 8 games that you won. Yes. Monday Football. Do you have
Look at that calling for the score when he knows the score.
Scoreboard.
You only had 2, Mr. Zachary. I think 2 or 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect to have done very well.
I got Atlanta. Go ahead, Zach. Pick your 42.5 is the over-under for the record. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, I'll take Atlanta and Mariota, man.
Michael?
I said the fraud cons minus points, and a shout out to one student of the game, Kyle Nash. I'll be on his show later.
I know you will.
Doing the mid-season awards. I'm going to spoiler alert to the
Don't fuck it up, though.
I do have an MVP take, and it's not what you think it is.
Saquon Barkley. I'm joking.
God, no.
Show some respect, Michael, on my show, please. Yeah, Atlanta, right?
Fraud cons.
Yes, right. All right. One of the best games of the weekend, probably. Seahawks at Buccaneers. Bucks are 2.5-point favorites. Over under 44.5.
Did you just say
intriguing matchup? It's an intriguing matchup. First place Bucks. Brady's divorced. Now, buddy. Mike, you got this one.
He actually finally found a tight end that actually catches the football. Maybe he can actually play some touchdown.
Yeah.
What's the line?
Line is 2.5 Bucks, 2.5 over under 44.5.
DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are going to find a way to get Geno Smith the win. Give me the point. Give me the Seahawks plus the points.
All right. Zachary.
Give me the over. I want to go Seahawks, but give me the over.
I almost went there, actually, on that.
I feel like both teams will score. Like, Seahawks don't have a lockdown defense, so.
No, they do not. I'll take the Bucks here. I think.
Unfortunately, Thomas Edward, Bieber, Brady. So
there we go. Exactly. This is the game of the week, assuming this guy plays, of course. Vikings at Bills. Bills are 3.5-point favorites. The over under 43.5. Oh God, I hope Josh Allen plays this game. I really do. I'm gonna say Buffalo here. I think Josh Allen will play, and I think he'll play for some reason. I know it's UCL, but I think he'll gut it out. So give me Buffalo. Zach?
Yeah, I think the Bills win by more than a touchdown if Josh Allen plays.
Mm-hmm.
But a backup, no.
It is Case Keenum, though.
I don't care. No, backups don't win.
Okay. So you taking Buffalo? Or you taking
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills.
Okay.
I think they'll win convincing if Josh Allen plays.
Okay. It is 1:00 though, Michael, for this one for Kirk Cousins. He's such a fucking evil smile there. What's up?
What's the over under?
Over on is 43.5.
Taking the over for the game, but I'm betting the fucking Minnesota Vikings.
The Minnesota Vikings. All right.
Give me coupons.
Give me coupons. All right. Next one, we have Lions at Bears. Oh my. Bears of 2.5-point favorites over under 48.5. Michael, what you got?
If this team didn't trade all of their defensive assets at the trade deadline, they probably beat the Miami Dolphins last week. Justin Fields coming into his own. I'm taking the fucking Bears. Let's go.
All right. Zachary?
Oh. You know, one big scoring game from Justin Fields. Nah, give me the under in this game. Too high.
Yeah, I'm also with you too. The under as well. I think the defenses will actually tighten up a little bit than usual.
Remember when the Lions put up like 70 week one?
They put up like 45 also week 3 and week 4. Yeah.
Everybody was loving them, and nobody believed.
All right, next one. Broncos at Titans. Titans are 1-point favorites over under 36.5. Wow, so low. Jeez. Call me crazy. I'm gonna go Denver here. I think bye week is gonna help. I think that fourth quarter against Jacksonville I think is gonna a sign for probably him playing well next couple weeks. We'll see. Give me Denver here. Zachary.
What's the word on Tannehill?
Nothing yet.
Nothing. Shit. Yeah, if it's Malik Willis playing, I'd take the under. So since you have no info on the quarterback, yeah, give me the under.
Michael?
36 is just such a bad number. Like I have to take the over because it's just such a low number.
Yeah, it is.
Take the over. It's such a fucking
sounds like an obvious score.
Such a Vegas trap here.
Yeah, no.
Is this game in Tennessee?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, double taking the over because Russ is going to do high knees all the way from fucking Denver to fucking Tennessee like he did England. And for like 3 touchdowns. Fuck it, yeah. Give me the over.
Over. All right. Next one, we got the Jaguars at Chiefs. Chiefs are 10-point favorites over under 50.5. Michael, who you going this one?
You know what? Call me fucking frisky here. Taking the Jaguars plus the 10. There's something about the way that the offense for the fucking Chiefs have looked the last couple weeks. It is stalling. It is stalling hard. Travis Etienne now being the number 1 running back with nobody there fucking taking carries from him. Fucking seeing what he can do now that his foot's fully healed. Kyle Nash may give me shit for this one later, but give me Sir Purr and the Jaguars.
Go ahead, Zach.
The only
Sir Purr is the Panthers.
Game,
right?
As if Kansas City's disinterested. All right, give me Patrick Mahomes.
They were really disinterested against the Titans last week.
Give me them winning by 20.
I'm actually with Mike here, man. I had to look at this. I was like, this could be one of those games where Jacksonville shows up, could make a point.
If there's a true definition of a trap game in the NFL,
especially with a spread like this, yeah,
it's Chiefs Jaguars.
There's a reason the spread is only 10 and not 13.
Yeah, because the fact of the fucking matter is the offense for the Chiefs has not looked great. They looked like dog shit on Sunday night against Tennessee. They took 6 of 11 Malik Willis to overtime.
All right, we got Browns at Dolphins. Dolphins 3.5-point favorites over under 48.5. This is kind of a trap game too here also because the Browns are coming for the bye week here. I'm gonna keep riding with 2 until the wheels fall off. Give me Miami to cover. Zachary, go ahead.
I'm the same. Trust in Tua.
Who would have thought week 10 was still doing this? It's great.
Dude, I loved it. For all the heat that he got and all the talk behind the scenes of getting rid of him, to be He's what, top 5 in yards, top 5 in touchdowns, top 10 in completion percentage. I mean, kid's killing it.
Yeah, I agree. Michael?
What's the over?
48.5. Yeah, too high, right? They pegged that one.
Such a bad line. Fuck it, give me the Browns plus the points.
Ooh, really? Field goal game?
Yeah, I mean, it was a field goal game against the fucking Bears, and Nick Chubb is 6x better than anybody else that the fucking Bears have.
That's a good
point. You couldn't stop Justin Fields running. How are you stopping an all-pro fucking running back?
That's true. And
by the way, guys, too. We won the fucking trade deadline because we have a defense that's going to take us to the fucking Super Bowl right after we get up 35 points to the fucking Bears. What?
It takes some time to integrate the guy. I mean, give me a break.
He's at the end. He's not a corner.
Right. All right, next.
You got to learn schemes. You got to learn how to fucking hit the guy in front of you and tackle the motherfucker that's got the ball.
Mm-hmm. All right, next one. We have Texans at Giants. Giants 5-point favorites over under 41. Michael, what you got?
Throw up? Because this game's going to suck. Fuck it. I'll take the Giants minus the points. Much as I don't want to, I just feel like I need to go take a shower now.
All right, Zach, what you got this one?
I want to take the under in the game.
I'm there too, the under as well. Like, Giants will win this game, but Houston's tough. They're a very competitive one-win team.
I feel like
Damian Pierce needs to have a good day.
And then they don't. I mean, the Giants are not good enough to cover 5 points that easily. I mean, I know it's at home and off a bye week, but
Damian Pierce has to have a good game for them to stay in that game.
Right.
Damian Pierce doesn't, and it all falls on Davis Mills, and they're up shit creek without a battle.
Right. All right, next one, we got Saints at Steelers. Saints are 1-point favorites over under 40 points. I'll take a slight over on this one, actually. Zach?
I'll take the Saints to cover.
Okay. Michael?
The Andy Dalton revenge game on the AFC North. Give me the Red Rocket and the Saints over.
Interesting angle there. Okay. All right.
How many times did their fucking chances of going further on the playoffs die in the middle of Heinz Field?
No, I get it. I like the narrative. It's kind of cool.
Revenge game for a quarterback not playing his own team. It's fucking Andy Dalton against the goddamn
field. Exactly. All right. You talk about games about there's another one game here.
Easy for you to say.
Colts at Raiders.
For the battle for the 32nd spot in next week's fucking power rank.
Correct. Raiders are 5.5-point favorites over under 42.5. Michael, what you got?
So before we started, you couldn't see it, but my name was actually I have more wins than Jeff Saturday does as a head coach. And then it was Saturday is going to have a bad day on Sunday. But I'm taking the under in this game because both these teams suck.
I agree. Zach?
I feel like the Colts have just gifted Vegas a win. Like, they're saying, here, Josh, save your job. You should be able to cover this spread no matter what. So give me Vegas.
I want to take Vegas too, man, but I don't trust them right now at this point. My fucking trust.
I mean, it's a gift, right?
I'll take Vegas, man. Dude, if they lose this game, McDaniel's getting fired on Monday. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, he'll make it to Monday?
So what you're telling me is when Slinging Sam Ellinger finds a way to fucking win this game in overtime, Josh McDaniels is gone.
Has he figured out how to sling it yet?
It's kind of like a wet pool noodle. You just kind of...
He's struggling right now.
Mm-hmm. All right, next one we have...
As a Michael Pittman fantasy owner, I'm aware.
Next one we have Cowboys at Packers. Cowboys are 5-point favorites.
If this wasn't a preseason fucking supposed NFC title game preview that's just gone up shit's creek without a battle.
Yep. 43 points, the over-under. Aaron Rodgers in that receiving core. No good.
Did you get the invitation to bring Logan and Eli to the tryout? Because they're going to try Jackson out to play wide receiver.
Oh, really?
Young as fuck.
Jeez. I'm going to take you know what? I'm thinking Packers on the points here. I think Dallas wins the game, but I think it's going to be a interesting game, interesting situation here. I think Aaron Rodgers and I think all the shit going on in the press right now.
Did Zach get you high before we started?
Always.
You literally just watched this team score 9 points against the worst.
That's right. I know.
I feel like there's a better chance that Dallas's defense outscores Aaron Rodgers.
So we're done. So we're done with Green Bay, right? They're done.
Yeah,
Finito.
Absolutely.
No shot. Okay.
I mean, if they're like, the only way they're not done is if there's a collapse of epic proportion from somebody else in the conference.
Right.
I mean, it takes the Giants' absolute collapse.
Yeah.
It takes the Giants and the Commanders to both just absolutely shit themselves.
That's what I said in the last podcast, actually. The Giants have to fall apart.
I mean, it's not like it's one. Like, they need, 5 teams to collapse.
So,
yeah,
Zach,
but, I mean, out of the possible playoff teams, I don't see the Cowboys collapsing.
No, I don't.
That's what I'm saying. It has to be the Commanders and the Giants have to shit themselves.
All right, so, Zach, you got Dallas this one?
Oh, absolutely. I love Dallas in this game.
Okay. Michael?
Yeah, I'm taking the Cowboys.
All right. Next one here. We have Cardinals at Rams, which is currently a pick'em, over under 41.5. Colin Murray is day-to-day, actually.
Matthew Stafford in concussion protocol.
Really? Ooh.
Do you not read Twitter?
I didn't see the Stafford part. I saw Colin Murray. I didn't see the Stafford part.
6 hours ago, they said he was in concussion protocol.
Oh, shit. Okay. In any case, I'm taking under. Fuck it. Under this one. Zach?
Well, before I knew both quarterbacks could miss the game, I wanted Arizona. But now I'm going to be a little chicken shit and take the under.
Just like me. Michael?
I'm going to take the under in this game. I was going to take the under in this game before Matt Stafford went to concussion protocol anyways. This just makes it even easier.
17-10.
Who the hell is the backup for the Rams?
I have no idea. I don't know. Jim Everett? I don't know. All right, Sunday Night Football. You have the Chargers against at the Niners. Niners are 7.5-point favorites. Over under 45.5. Michael, what you got?
It looks like I'm trying to see who their backup quarterback is. Bryce Perkins.
Who?
Is he went to the University of Virginia.
Okay.
Sorry, I just wanted to see how
no,
bad it was. I wanted to see how bleak it was for them whenever he does.
I have no idea who that is. In any case, who you got this one? San Fran and Chargers. Another big game of the weekend.
Go Chargers, go.
Yeah, I'm the same. There's no pressure for the Chargers since they're expected to lose. So, yeah, I'll take the Chargers.
No, I'm with you too. I think Niners win the game, but 7.5 points is a lot of points. I think Chargers show up in this one. 7.5 points. That's a lot of points, even for a road game for the Chargers. And finally, Monday Night Football, we have...
that's like a road game saying, man, they got to travel all the way to fucking New England.
No, true. I get it.
In 3.5 hours.
More of a crowd situation more than anything else. All right, and finally, last one, Zach's Commanders at the Eagles. Eagles 11.5-point favorites, over under 44 points. It'll
actually probably be John Wolford. He'll probably play quarterback out of Wake Forest for the Rams.
I have no idea who that is.
He was the backup last year.
Yeah, he was the backup last year, so he is familiar with the playbook. So,
all right. In any case, I'm going to take. Call me crazy. I'm going to take the Commanders on the points.
Oh wow, so crazy! Because I'm doing the same.
Homer.
Look at who the Eagles have beaten this season, and you're like, okay, now I know why they're undefeated.
Yeah, but they beat the teams where you're supposed to though. So
yeah,
but this is a divisional game too. Though, so I see
11 points. Come on,
they're playing better, dude. They're playing better with Heineke on the center. You have to admit this team is.
Absolutely.
It's weird. It's weird. Michael, what you got in this one?
What's my name say on the screen right now for those of them not
watching? Dunkin' Donuts.
Hurts Donut. Beat them by fucking 16 the first time. Going to beat them by more than 11 this time. Give me Jalen Hurts Donut.
Okay. And again, your bye week is as follows. We have the Ravens, the Bengals, the Patriots, and the Jets. Of all 4 teams, who needs it more?
Bengals. Freaking Joe Burrow needs to have some of those bruises healed.
I agree with you. I'm Bengals also too. Mike?
I think it's the Baltimore Ravens because those guys are more banged up than fucking almost any other team not named the Green Bay Packers. Mark Andrews is out. Rashad Bateman is now out for the year. The defense is dinged up as fuck. I think the Ravens need a fucking break to keep these guys healthy for a stretch run. If I'm Cincinnati, I don't want the bye week. We finally found a fucking run game, and now you're like, you know what? Fuck it.
Oh my God, you found it.
Let's take a break for a fucking week. Yeah, no, I think Baltimore needs it just from a health perspective. I think both Cincinnati and the Jets right now would much rather be playing this week rather than sitting on byes coming off of, the wins that they had.
Yeah. Okay, quick before we get out of here, I want to react to the college football playoff rankings this week. Number 1, Georgia. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Michigan. Number 4, TCU. 5, Tennessee. 6, Oregon. Guys, any issue with this top 6?
Yes. Fuck Ohio
Michael.
State. Fuck Ohio State. Fuck them.
I'm with you.
Get them all the way the fuck out of there. They're not good. They haven't played anybody good. Their fucking only fucking big win is against fucking Notre Dame, who just beat Clemson. Whoopty fucking do, Basil. They barely squeaked by Penn State, and they barely squeaked by fucking Northwestern this week. They don't play anybody. They don't want to play anybody because their lone hope is that because they can win the conference or maybe only lose to fucking Michigan, that they can sneak their way in. Yeah, no, they're not good. Not a
Zachary.
good.
Yeah, Zach, go ahead. Any
I
issues?
think spot on. You can't justify any other team going into the top 4. You just can't.
You can't put a Tennessee team in there who beat Alabama.
Tennessee's the only one I can.
Blown out at Georgia the way they did.
Ohio State beat 1 in 37 Northwestern by 14.
Look, I get it. But you know what? Georgia, who's the number 1 team, also struggled this season to pull out a victory. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a bad week.
So, like I said, my issue is Ohio State too. But I don't know. I don't think you think about it in the top 4. I was saying that Tennessee's a case to be in the top 4 still. The issue was when I struggled with that too, and I just did my rankings before they played out.
Ohio State is the 4th best team.
Okay, I can roll with that too. Also, my thing was, had Tennessee not gotten blown out by Georgia, I would have said, okay, definitely put them in the top 4 because performance mattered. They were done from the start of that game. They were cooked. So that's why they're in the 5. But again, they're in a good spot there because Ohio State and Michigan will work stuff out in a couple of weeks, obviously.
A non-conference schedule of Notre Dame, Arkansas State, and Toledo, just you need to blow.
I'm with you.
You have to blow everybody out.
And Mike, the reason I'm number 1 for a couple of weeks is because they were doing that until the last week, and I adjusted accordingly.
I mean, it also took them. By the way, going into the 4th quarter, they were up by 2 on Penn State. The same Penn State team that Michigan blew the fucking doors off of.
This is why Michigan's not ranked. In my opinion, I have Michigan. I was swap Michigan, Ohio State. That's what
I'm just saying. Michigan should be in the 2 spot. Give me TCU in the 3 spot. Then you can have Ohio State and Tennessee fight for 4 or 5.
Let me ask one question though, because my prediction was actually that one of these 6 teams are going to lose this weekend. Probably TCU. Hope it doesn't happen.
Ohio State against fucking Indiana at this rate.
I hope so. But TCU and Texas, that's a weird game. Question though before we get out of here. Give me percentage chance a Pac-12 team crashes the party right now. You got Oregon at 6, USC is at 8 or 7.
I think it's 8. Let me look.
I think it's 8. I think 7 is LSU. Right. It is 8.
LSU.
Right. Any percentage chance a Pac-12 team cracks the party right now.
If a Pac-12 team runs clean, like does not lose the rest of the season, they'll be in the top 4.
You think so?
Yes.
You think
Is there
think
a Pac-12 title game or no?
Yeah,
I don't.
They have a title game, I thought.
Here's a problem with that, though, Zach. Ohio, you think they'll take a one loss Oregon over one loss Ohio State or one loss Michigan?
Well, I mean, when Oregon traveled across the country to start the season by playing someone versus say Ohio State struggling to beat Northwestern and then losing to Michigan.
I think you have to look at the entire bill, the entire work.
That's why I think it'd be like that.
Because here's the thing. Oregon, I'm looking at the schedule right now. Yes, they got the doors blown off them by the defending national champion. I get it. Neutral site, traveling to the East Coast, it's a struggle. They then they went and beat the number 12 team in the nation at the time, BYU. Yes, they've fallen off a cliff. I get it. But they were in the top 15 when they played. Beat the number 9 team in UCLA. Have a top 25 matchup against Washington this week. Play Utah the following week, who's probably going to be in the top 10. Maybe top 15, definitely the top 15, maybe top 10 by the time they play. Yeah, Oregon definitely has an opportunity to knock on the door. I think USC still has an opportunity, depending on how their final stretch is. Colorado, UCLA, Notre Dame. So they've got
late in the game. So
so they have two, and their lone loss is a 1-point loss to Utah, who's in the top 15 right now.
Well, I'm gonna put a 35% for me that a Pac-12 team cracks the party.
I'm probably gonna go higher. I'm probably gonna go 50 to 55% because at the end of the day, because here's the thing, you're sitting down with the committee. Michigan wins. You take Ohio State, you throw them all the way the fuck out. See you later. Bye. You didn't do anything in the non-conference. You struggled against teams that you should have beaten in conference. You have a fucking loss. Bye. You're comparing losses. A 1-point loss to Utah, losing to the national champion week 1 in basically a home game for Georgia, or losing to Michigan. I'm probably going to lean to the team that lost to the national champion or lost by a point than I am a team who loses to fucking Michigan or Ohio State. So I think either one of them has no chance if they don't win that game to be in the Final Four. I think Georgia's a lock unless they lose a game before the end of the regular season. You put a fucking padlock on them. I believe that you could put TCU in as long as they run the table, that they'll find a way into the top 4.
Yep.
So I think the winner of Michigan-Ohio State is probably in unless they lose the Big Ten title game, which they still have to play afterwards. Mm-hmm. Let's not forget that. So now that leaves potential 1-loss Tennessee, 1-loss Oregon, 1-loss USC for 1 or 2 spots. I think, call me crazy, but I mean, Tennessee, like, if we're really going to sit here and say, well, they were getting their doors blown off them, and if Georgia lays off the gas, like, what's the point of even fucking putting them back in? You know, USC hasn't played Georgia. No. USC's gotten their shit together. Like, if you put a USC team in there as the 4 over Ohio State. Because here's the thing. Ohio State, Michigan, like, whoever loses, just see it. They have no shot of being in the Final Four. None.
So basically, you're saying that there'll be no multiple Big Ten teams in the top 4 this year.
The only conference that's going to get multiple teams in the playoffs is the
SEC. Of course.
They're the only conference that has a chance.
That's death taxes and SEC rules. We know this. Yeah.
It's not even that per se. It's the fact that Tennessee can now run the table and their lone loss be to the only undefeated team in all of college football.
Yeah.
It's hard to not think about putting them in.
And if it's USC, you have to realize they're about to leave the conference. So why wouldn't you put them in to high conference one last time?
And like I said, if you take if you look at the losses, the Oregon Georgia loss week 1, on paper that looks bad. But you have a West Coast team traveling to the East Coast week 1. New quarterback who just transferred from fucking Auburn, trying to learn a fucking system, playing the defending national champions, all the swag in the world. It's and then USC losing by a point to Utah. But if Michigan blows Ohio State out and then say Michigan loses in the Big Ten title game, there's a chance we get no Big Ten teams in the fucking Final Four. I think that's a real thing you have to think about, because you're telling me right now, Georgia and TCU both go undefeated, 1-2. See you later. Lock it up. The 3 seed is Tennessee. The 4 seed is fucking USC or Oregon.
Nice, good point.
I mean, I think the Pac-12 is a lot more live than anybody thinks they are.
Yeah, and I think having those 2 teams, USC, Oregon, being right out on the cusp, I unless LSU runs the table and someone cracks into the SEC title game, if that is even possible for them, yeah, I think Pac-12 have a very good chance of cracking the party.
What's the SEC title game as of right now?
That would be Georgia against
LSU.
LSU, yeah. So
if LSU beats Georgia in the SEC title game,
they got to get in. Because that also the resume helps too. The resume will help too, because that will be the win. That will be
that's a great win. But let's look at their loss.
They lost to Tennessee.
No, they lost to the Florida State Seminoles in week 1. Nope, can't be in the top 4 now. You lost to a shitty SAC.
Oh no, but they're ranked though. They're ranked right now, and that actually helps.
You cannot have a 2-loss SEC team get in over a 1-loss Pac-12 team. You can't. Impossible.
It's gonna be a fascinating finish of the year, man. I cannot wait. I hope LSU wins out. I'll be honest with you, just to see what happens.
I mean, that 38-0 win over New Mexico looks real great on paper for fucking LSU.
All right, fellas, good job, man. As always, good luck with your picks this week. Mike, I know you crushed. By the way, Mike, you had 9 wins this week. 9 wins this week. I think I had 7. You, Zach, you had,
Whatever.
Whatever.